Hello and welcome back to my channel, Cards by Melissa Minor. On my desk in front of me, I have close to my heart's new Gnome for Spring collection. And you can see all this gorgeous paper. And then this is my favorite. This is the new Gnome for Spring. So this is the picture of it, and then on the back is the die. And in today's video, I am going to be showing you my assembly of the gnome and then all of the color choices that I've used for the gnome. So look at all these dies that you get, lots of them, so you can make this any color that you want. Now in the bundle, there's also these cute little acrylic shapes. They've got flowers and they've got butterflies. There's also this card making stamp set. And then there's also this Gnomes for Spring scrapbooking stamp set. And any of those that are in the little green color also have a matching thin cut. So I'm going to start off by showing you the assembly of the gnome. So for the base of my gnome, I have cut this out in shortbread cardstock. And then I'm bringing in the dress. Now for the dress, I have cut this out in bluebird cardstock. And then for this one, I've went ahead and added some little white dots on it. And that is with my white gel pen. Now I've already added the little shoes. And so those little funny shaped, I couldn't figure those out for a little while, and so I hope this video helps you. But those little bitty dots, or those little bitty dies, are actually the feet, so they're the shoes. Now I'm going to ink the edges of most of these pieces, and I like to do this with a finger dauber so you can get in and around the edges of these small pieces. So for my dress, since I have cut this out of the bluebird cardstock, I'm inking this up with the coordinating color of the bluebird. And so now that I have that ready, I'm going to go ahead and get that adhered down. Now there's also this cute little detail part that goes around the collar. And I've cut that out in white cardstock, so I'm going to get that adhered down. Now, tweezers are very helpful for assembly of this gnome. And also, if you have a pickup tool, that's the other little tool I'm using. If you have some sort of little pickup tool to help you, it does help with these little small pieces. So for the assembly, you start with the base, you add the feet, then the dress, and then the detail of the dress. Then the next thing I'm doing is I'm adding in the hair. Now I have cut out my hair in mocha, and then I'm going to go ahead and ink the edges of the braids with my mocha ink. So I'm going to go ahead and do that to both. So I want to take a moment to tell you that be sure that you are subscribed to my channel and you have rang the bell to receive notifications, because I will be making a scrapbook layout as well with this Gnomes for Spring collection. So you'll want to be notified for when that comes out soon. Okay, all right, I have these almost inked up here. I love all these cute little gnomes that they have come out with. At the end of this video, I'm also going to be putting together a card. Okay, so once we have these inked up, we're going to go ahead and adhere the little braids onto the dress. So we'll get our dress glued down because we know that's next. So shoes, dress, then hair. And you could really cut these out in any color that you choose. Okay. So let me get this one glued down. Now for the next piece, I'm going to be bringing in the hat. And for the hat, I have chose to cut that out of the limeade cardstock. Let me get this last one glued in here real quick. Okay, that looks good. All right, let me bring this in. Okay, so I have the limeade cardstock for the hat, and I like the little detail on there. Don't know if the camera is picking that up, but it's got some like extra little stitching. So I'm going to bring in my limeade ink and just quickly go around the edges and get some ink around here. Let's give that a little extra dimension. Okay. And I'm going to keep that limeade ink out because I am going to be using that also for the leaves that go on. So I'm going to go ahead and get the hat glued down. And I'm not putting glue on the very edge of the hat because I do want to slip my nose underneath there, just on the edge. Okay, so I have the hat glued down. The next piece I'm going to be bringing in is the nose, and I have cut my nose out in the Desert Rose cardstock. And I'm using the light side of the Desert Rose, and you see how I just slipped that underneath there. And then there's these little flowers with the leaves, and I've also cut this out of the limeade cardstock. And I am going to be inking this up, and I'm going to be putting quite a bit of ink on here on just the little flower or the little leaf pieces. And those are the only pieces that are going to show, because the other piece, we're going to be covering that up with the flower. So by putting a lot of ink right here on these leaves, that's going to have it stand out against my limeade hat. Okay, so now that I have that inked up, I'm going to put a little glue on here. And we'll get that glued down. And you see these little notches up here on the hat? You'll just turn this, and the larger leaves on this flower piece, those just match up and go right on there. Okay, and then the next piece I have here is a flower. And I have cut that out in the flamingo cardstock, and you just have to turn it. There is a certain way that it matches up on here. So I'm going to get this flower adhered down. And I've got that. And then I have my umbrella still to bring in. Now I've used the pattern paper that came in the Gnomes for Spring pack. And you'll see that I didn't cut a different piece for the umbrella handle. I've just really paid attention to how the stripes were going, and I tried to match up a stripe, like a solid color of the stripe that was going down for that. And then the last piece here is the little gnome hand. And so we'll just adhere this here to the handle of the umbrella. Okay, and now I'm going to be bringing back in these acrylic shapes. And I'm going to get one of these little flowers out of here. And I have found that the best way to adhere these little acrylic shapes is to bring in some liquid glass. That works perfectly. Now mine's really old, but it still works. Okay, so I'm going to squeeze a little bit onto here, and then I'm just going to stick this right in the middle of that flower on top of the hat. And there we go. Now off camera, I do go in and add a couple, I forgot to add in the little bows here, but I do add the little bows to the hair. And here is where I am just touching up a little bit of the polka dots that I added to the little dress to give it a little detail. Okay, and then I'm also going to be bringing in this cloud background. I don't think this is available any longer, but maybe you have it in your stash. And I have used the little like garden pattern paper and cut out a panel. And let me bring in the card. I used the Gnomes for Spring card making set, the Sending a Happy Hello, and I stamped that in the flamingo ink and just cut the little sentiment apart. Use the little foam tape, and there you have it. If you've enjoyed this video, please hit that thumbs up. And thanks so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next video. Bye-bye.